So while Mike's living out in the land of yeehaws and eagles, he's prepping the car and still getting smoked by 86 Honda Accords. I'm sitting here going through the internet, looking at travel and trying to get flights and possibly visas sorted out this end. It's currently like 4 o'clock in the morning right now, and I am up looking at flight paths. I'm looking at the distance that Mike and I have got to do, looking at the route that we're taking, and also just trying to get as much done with as little time as we have. As you guys are well aware, as you've probably seen from the social media pages, because we haven't been quiet. In fact, we've actually been shouting about it. Mountney set us the challenge, and we've got to get them up to 2,000 followers in less than 2 months. In which case, they said, as soon as we achieve that, flights are being booked, they're going to pay for it. So thank you, Dan, thank you, Jody, thank you to all the team at Mountney. Yeah, it's an absolute mammoth of a challenge. Mike and I aren't afraid to do it. We're not afraid to get stuck in. I mean, I've never travelled past Europe, especially on my own. I've done the family holidays. I've done, holidays with friends and whatnot. But to put things into perspective, just so that you guys are fully aware of just how monstrous this trip actually is, I will show you exactly what we are up against. I've got to take off from somewhere around here, fly across this tiny little pond, ignore that, and land somewhere in Southern California. Once I've landed in LA, got a nice hour drive. Mike, I haven't put your full address in. I've just put it to Ventura because I know that's roughly where you are. However, that's the drive from the airport to pretty much where Mike lives. I'm expecting traffic, LA traffic, infamous for being absolutely dreadful. Then once I'm somewhere in Southern California, Mike and I are going to jump in the Mini. We're going to take Route 66, I think Mike said. It runs along the road that we would take to get to the start of the rally. However, we're going to do some sightseeing along the way, hopefully do some meet and greets. But, I mean, this is one hell of a drive, let alone in a modern car. Mike and I have got to drive to the Ozarks in a classic Mini just to get to the start of the rally. And then we've got a 2 or 3 day excursion somewhere around here, and then the drive back. Did I mention this was going to be a challenge? So that's basically the route I'm going to take to meet Mike, and then Mike and I are going to go off and do, and hopefully not kill each other along the way. So with that being said, you guys know the route now. You know roughly what the plan is. You know as much as what Mike and I do. It's like 5:15 in the morning this end, so I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to catch you guys on the next day. Next day, here we are. So I suppose first things first, I should really give you guys a bit of an update on the Outlaw. Not much has really changed from the Instagram posts. Let's get some lights going on, and we'll come back to this. As I was saying, a lot of you guys have probably seen this on the Instagram posts with it basically looking how it is really. Not a lot has really changed. Engine's almost ready to come out, dropped with the subframe. Gear linkage is all waiting for some new rubber mounts to go underneath somewhere there so that I can take the old one out and then stick the new quick shift in. Before I dive into this, Mike, I know you've been bitching at me for months about straight steering wheels, and you've got to bear with me because this is an absolute nightmare with a small one. However, steering wheel straight, yes? Cool. Front wheel is straight. You can't even bitch at me anymore, man. I mean, it's on, and it's a lot straighter than what yours is, so come at me, bro. Right, excuse the mess because this car is an absolute tip at the moment. It's funny, when you dismantle the car, everything doubles in size and space. So yeah, that's why we're at this point at the moment. Anyway, I haven't mentioned anything about this on the podcast, on social media or anything, but I do, however, have a full 6-point roll cage, almost fitted. So I'm debating about now taking it back out to then repaint it. So for some of you Mini guys and nuts who know, I've actually not got any vents. So what you can see there is actually floor. So when it rains, this is to stop me from potentially getting a wet leg. It's not ideal and it's going to be changed, but it's all I can do for the time being. I got caught short out in the rain, so what can you do? I think I owe everyone an explanation of what is actually going on with the Outlaw, why I took it off the road in the first place when it was running, and what my actual plans are. I took it off the road purely because the head gasket went, and I suspected it for a little while, but it kept overheating, just wasn't running right. So I decided to call it quits and just take it off the road and see what was going on. I found that the head gasket had gone, and I thought, well, if I'm pulling that off, then I may as well do some other spicy bits to it. I mean, why not, right? The ideas I did originally have was what Mike and I were actually discussing on the podcast about doing like a, you know, a cow look Mini with the rag top and maybe a roof rack, or, you know, some tidy little bits. But then I thought, actually, no, I really do enjoy driving this, and I do enjoy driving it hard. So the plan now is to go down the motorsport route, or motorsport somewhat, a little amount of motorsport. Basically, it's going to be a country lane basher, or B-road blaster, whichever you want to call it, a fast road setup, basically, and just making sure that this thing is going to be able to handle the lanes, country lanes, all the potholes, all the speed bumps, you name it, I'm actually going to be able to use and get over, unlike that thing over there. I mean, at this point, Mike and I are being very open and honest, so I may as well be quite open and honest with you guys about the Outlaw. I'm basically going to go down like a rallycross route with the car. Full livery, you know, tyre suspension, engine, you name it, interior, it's all getting reworked. I'm basically restoring the car again. It looks worse than it actually is, and the bodywork is probably the least of my problems right now. Putting things into perspective, we have tyre to arch ratio. Yes, I'm actually running it this low. I can barely get my fingers in, that really hurt. Basically, to go for the rallycross route, a lot of the original 60s and 70s Minis, they all used to run a fiberglass front end. And because I'm going down that route, these arches need to be cut. I could go for a flip front and fiberglass and make my life a hell of a lot easier, but as you guys can probably see, these panels are actually fairly new. There's no rot or anything on them. They are fairly new, freshly primered. I say fresh, a few months fresh. And basically, I don't want to be tearing this apart too much if I can help it. I know, I've already said it. It's already becoming a restoration project. I know. Because we're going rallycross, I'm not adjusting the ride height. I'm keeping it as it is, but I'm going to cut the arches a hell of a lot more. So top of the indicator hold is my marker for the arches. I mean, you can vaguely see a line where I'm just messing around with stuff, but I think it's like another 3-4 inches coming out of the arches. I might go more. It might go up here. We don't know yet. Probably thinking, why on earth would anyone want that? Why would anybody want arch gap? Well, I truly don't want arch gap. However, I haven't seen anybody do it, and it's going to look sick, hopefully. Next up is the interior. Leather print dash is staying 100%. I love this thing so much. It draws in so much attention, and I truly love it. Cage, we've already spoken about. Potentially, I might get it painted. I'm not entirely sure. I'm really gutted because the Webasto roof, where we fitted the cage, is right up against it. If it fits, it sits, right? Steering wheel, Mountney, has to be, got to be. I'm actually debating about changing this. I love this tiny little steering wheel. I think it's like 250mm, or it might be less, 240 maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, I've got small hands anyway, and that thing is absolutely tiny. So, yep, I've got to change it because it's way too twitchy at motorway speeds. And I've got a lovely selection from Mountney with a new steering boss. You can hit them up at mountneyclassic.co.uk and make sure that you guys are following them on Instagram as well. They've got some amazing products, and they also do accessories, not just steering wheels, okay? So go check them out. Hopefully, this is going to be back on the road for next year. I did say this year, this August, but yeah, plans kept changing, and I've just not had much time this year to even think about starting this. In terms of engine, I'm going to be using a quick release bonnet. The engine was fine, apart from the head gasket going. However, it just lacked that little bit more oomph, you know? So I've had a few chats with a couple of people, and basically we're going to be building a Super 998. This is pretty much almost ready to come out now, along with the subframe. So I'm still running 998 block. Good friend Richard supplied me with some ARP head bolts as well as the cage, so thank you to him and his dad. I really do appreciate that, guys. And I know what you guys are saying. Yeah, the money I spend could go into a 1275. Granted. However, I quite like the idea of a Super 998. So, you know, bigger cam, maybe an SW10 from Swift Tune, 1275 head, which I've already got, which just needs support and polishing. I got twin carbs waiting to go on. I do need to finish rebuilding them, however, so maybe that could be another video post. Yeah, just tweak it, just here and there. I'm not asking for crazy power. I just want more oomph and a bit more go, so that when I am tearing down the country lanes, it's just a lot more enjoyable. And I know I'm not going to be thrashing the backside off it like I did with the standard 998. On the flip side though, let me know what you guys think about the car. What do you think about the ideas? What else do you think I should do and change? Is there anything that you would or wouldn't do potentially, like cutting the arches so high? Just let me know your thoughts. We really want to hear, we really want to engage with you guys a hell of a lot more than we already have been. This is where we're at. This is vlog 1 for me. Obviously it's going to be vlog 2 for the YouTube channel. There's plenty of episodes out on the podcast, so go catch them either on here or on wherever you stream for that. Mike and I can't thank all of you for all of your support throughout, you know, almost 2 years of Mike and I doing this. We're still in our infancy. However, the support everyone has shown us is fantastic. So we really want to give you guys the best content that we are physically able to make. Like we've been saying on social media, please go and support Mountain Classic. They are absolutely fantastic people with absolutely amazing products. I'm not just kissing ass here, but they genuinely are. So please help support them so that they can support Mike and I on the Mini Life channel, and together we'll create some amazing memories, create some amazing content for all of you, and yeah, we're just gonna be here for the ride and see where it takes us all, really.